Jake Melkshan from the red corner in the red.
I was interested in all sports back then, particularly boxing though, because it got you really fit.
Melkshan comes back with a left-right.
Davis's kick to half forward. Van der Haar and Knights again. Van der Haar!
Yeah, the game was really disappointing on the weekend for the club. Geelong really come out to play and their intensity was a lot better than ours, and they showed it, especially the first probably 10 minutes of the game, and we couldn't match it. And I think the last quarter we started off a lot better, and even though we're down by, I don't even know how many points in the end, first 15 minutes was a positive. We could actually lock the game in our half a bit more. If we're going to beat the good teams, we've got to match it for the whole game. Yeah, we did learn a lot from the game. If you want to be as good as the teams like Geelong and the Hawthorns, you've got to match their intensity. And if you don't, you can see what happens. The game turns pretty quick. So there is a long way to go. There's 6 games and our form for the last 4 weeks hasn't been great, but you've got to move on, and we have, and I can see some big positives in the last 6 weeks. There's no doubt we'll get some good players back over the next 4 weeks, but we're confident with the players that are out there at the moment. We think, that the 30 players that are pushing for selection every week can do the job. It's a really good challenge for us, and come up against probably the informed team of the competition, and what better chance to test yourself. If we're going to win finals and put yourself in good positions, then you've got to beat the best.
Bobby, how you going, mate?
Hey, Jakey boy.
What's happening?
How are you, mate?
How's training going, huh?
Oh, good, good.
Good to go. I first got into boxing when I was about grade 6, I think. 12 years old. I started with Bob, my trainer, who was our runner at the time at my local footy club. He helped out Dad with the coaching, and he's doing a bit of training down here at FitFX. And I was interested in all sports back then, particularly boxing though, because it got you really fit and strong, and because I was such a young age, weights probably wasn't an option, and I just liked the speed of it, and once we started sparring and stuff, that was really exciting too. So yeah, as I got older, I enjoyed it more and more.
I first met Jake when his dear old dad Dave brought him to me to the gym, and after a couple of years he actually fought. He fought as an amateur.
Yeah, I had a couple of amateur fights. My first one was at Wangaratta Town Hall, I think, up in Wangaratta, and yeah, I think I was first on the card, and I ended up winning that fight, which was a pretty special night.
Jake Melkshan from the red corner in the red singlet and back trunks.
When his first fight came up, I said to Jake's mum, look, you needn't fear about Jake, you should be worried about his opponent, and that's exactly how it panned out.
Mum was pretty nervous, and Dad and Bob and people in my corner were pretty excited. And yeah, it was just good to get the first one out of the way, and especially with the win.
I don't know what the ref had in mind. The kid was never going to make any impression on Jake. It was a very easy fight for him. And that was despite the fact that the other kid, I think, had 4 fights, but Jake was having his first.
Back then I was just excited about it, and I didn't really get too nervous about many sports I played because I enjoyed them. And yeah, that night I was all right. I was first up, but once it was out of the way, I wanted to fight in all the fights that night. So yeah, it was good.
Jake was the most calmest. He didn't show any nerves whatsoever, and it's exactly the way he fought like he was a seasoned pro.
And Jake Melkshan comes out with a win.
I think for the first couple of years I got a lot stronger, and then yeah, it sort of plateaued a little bit, but just with my growth, so yeah, it helped a lot.
I saw potential as an athlete. He had speed, power. Later on, when I got involved with his football, I realised he had courage, heaps of natural ability. He was a real dedicated kid, and he's a real credit to the way he prepares himself. And he virtually taught himself, Jake. He's a freak.
So when I had those 2 fights, I think my second one was just before the start of the pre-season for footy, and that's when footy started getting more serious for me. I had Calder Cannons and yeah, the TSC Cup program that I was undertaking. So I had to prioritise with what I was doing, and obviously I had footy to do and I chose to do that, so that was still very strong in my heart, which is something I wanted to do, and I pursued that, and probably since then I hadn't really kept as professional as I was in my boxing. So.
Round 1. Pick number 10, Jake Melksham, called a cannon.
I would never try and talk a kid out of abandoning a football career for boxing, that's for sure, but I was very tempted with Jake. Had he not been such a good footballer, he would certainly have been, I've got no doubt he would have represented his country. And anything past that, you know, if you do that, well, obviously he'd make a good pro, but I'm glad he chose football because, you know, for obvious reasons. And look, I think he's going to be a champ. He's going to be a great player.
I do miss doing it. We do maybe 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes of it on a Thursday. I do it just to keep sharp, and it's more of a cross-training session for us. And you wouldn't think it, but it helps you with your footy in terms of, you know, certain things with your vision and your peripherals and stuff like that. It just gets you really sharp, which helps.
Kick towards full forward. Melksham, can he get an accommodating bounce? He can. He'll put the Bombers in front.
If you watch Jake play football, I think he's a bit of a twinkle toes. I think a lot of that comes from his boxing, and also his decision making is very good under pressure. And I think that's, you know, boxing has a lot to do with that. Jake has never been rubbed out for striking. Jake is a very smart, level-headed kid. I think it would take a lot for him to let one go, and I don't think, personally, I don't think he ever will.
Yeah, there's times you definitely want to hit someone out on the field, but you can't do it. I'm not the type of person when I was fighting where I was very, you know, vicious or, you know, that type of character. I was pretty relaxed and laid back with what I did, but I'm more worried about getting a kick than trying to take someone's head off. So.
I've never spoken to Jake about a prospect of getting back into boxing. He's far too good a footballer. Look, I'd love to. If he ever does, I hope he comes back to me, but I doubt it very much. He's just far too good. I think he's a 200 game plus player. He's a ripper.
Wait, Brendan. Skip. Look who's just liked us on Facebook.
Who you got?
Only Eddie Maguire.
This is Edward Maguire of... This guy looks 85 and he's from Hobart in Tasmania.
No, 85, come on, that's... You know, television does that to you, doesn't it? It makes you look younger.
This photo's not even blue.
He's got to be in his 80s.
And he's got glasses on.
Hey? Yeah.
Eddie Maguire lives in Broadmeadows.
Exactly, but, you know, he's... No, it's him. Good. Lisa, whack him down. We've got Eddie Maguire. Yeah, she's right, that
The guy's wearing glasses and he's 85.
Can you... You know, you're breaking my heart here.
Bertie took me into the players' meeting and told everybody in the team what I was going through. Told everyone that I was a godfather of the footy club and please look after him.